Welcome to season 2 of Convin Conversations. I am your host Ashish Santhalia, and today we have someone with probably the most unique background that I have ever seen in customer. Bhupendra is head of customer experience at Kotak Securities, but before leading customer transformation and experience transformation for one of the India's largest brokerages, he was a major in the Indian Army, managing operations in counter-insurgency and then handling budgets of hundreds of crores in technical modernization projects and even formulating cybersecurity policies. But from managing troops in critical operations to now managing millions of customer interactions at Kotak Securities, that's quite a transition. And he has been leading with some fascinating work, implementing Salesforce, launching AI-powered chatbots, setting up a council with the CEO. This is something that we would love to talk about maybe, and then driving NPS improvement across the organization. Bhupendra, welcome to Convin Show.
Thank you so much, Ashish, and thank you for the opportunity.
Great, Bhupendra. Let's start with the elephant in the room. You were a major in the Indian Army, right? And now you're leading the customer experience at a financial services company. How does someone go from army to customer experience? And most importantly, what happened?
So I did close to 7 years in the army, served at lot many places, and then after that time, I realized I want to do something different. Some personal reasons as well, but yeah, it mostly drive to do something different now. And then I did my masters from IIM Bangalore, which gave me a good perspective of the corporate world. I met some young minds, learned a lot from them, and then it was all people taking bets on me, people being very kind. Uh, The movement to experience customer experience at Kotak Security was a gradual one. I joined here to lead some digital transformation initiatives. Then I moved to the product team, leading a product pod, wherein I manage chatbot, IVR, Salesforce, and the support elements in the application. And when the leadership decided that we require to do more to hear the voices of customer and create a separate vertical out of it. And then the customer experience vertical was created, and I was chosen to lead it. So mostly people betting on me has been the reason of this progress or maybe transition in my life.
This might be a different question, but I still want to ask. Is there any kind of similarity between the roles you had in army versus what you're doing now? Can you draw any parallel at all, or is it a completely different landscape?
So I think there's always a triangle that impacts any function, and that triangle has people, processes, and products, right? So this remains same, be it in the army or be it in the corporate world. And the center of this triangle is always the mission. So
Okay.
I'm very thankful to the army, which has given me life skills, which I've been able to apply in my personal life, obviously in the army and now in Kotak Securities as well. So yeah, there are a lot of parallels. We can talk more about it if you want, but yeah, there are parallels definitely.
Interesting. So a couple of things on the parallel side that I can think of, Bhupendra, are definitely about structured processes, right? I'm sure Army has a great structure to processes, and then there is situational awareness, and of course, empathy under stressful situations. At least these are the three things that I can think of in terms of parallels. Do you agree with these three?
Absolutely. These three things are 20 essential for any successful objective. But beyond that, what I would think, which make me think more about how I apply things to the corporate world or maybe to my current role is one of so customer experience is something that requires cutting across many functions, and you don't get a seat at table at not many times. People are busy with their own stuff. You are basically scrutinizing their work, telling them, look, buddy, there's a gap here, and the customers are not liking it, and this is maybe leading to a drop. This is maybe leading to a bad satisfaction score. This is maybe leading to a rant on different channels. That's not a great thing that people expect you to hear, right? Pinpointing what's not great happening with your work, right? So getting that seat of table requires lot of perseverance, lot of patience, right? So this is what I learned in the army, that perseverance pays, and this is what I've been trying to apply here as well. And this is actually helping me and the team build the
Yeah,
function.
yeah.
And beyond that, other thing that beyond perseverance is um, the mm, your alignment to the mission. What you solve, how much importance you give to the mission is also very important. Maybe keeping the customer at the center, identifying that customer is a north star, and bringing customer at every discussion, prioritizing customer over everything is what I think uh, also helps you build a great customer experience and also a great team and a great company. So yeah, about the three things, these two things I add in my day-to-day routine that I learned from the army.
That's very interesting. And you are at, let's say, heading the customer experience for one of the leading brokerage firms, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the state of customer experience in financial services
Yep.
specifically. So maybe my first question here is, how has the expectations evolved from the customer side in the last 5 years, especially with, let's say, Gen Z investors are coming in. I should also say that digital first users are starting to utilize the platform, right? So how has just the expectation side of things evolved in the last 5 years?
So, talking about the industry, securities industry is, I think, one of the most disrupted industries so far, with all the full service brokers like Kotak Securities taking the center stage to discount brokers coming in and disrupting it like anything. And then the more and more new investors joining the league, market getting evolved. It's a great show. Like right, last decade and the last years post COVID have been a monumental one for the broking industry. So it's not just about Gen Z, it's about different mix of people coming in the industry.
Have you seen users coming in at a faster rate compared to the earlier, say after the pandemic?
Definitely, we have seen the surge of users coming in, and not just a surge of user. It's like a great mix of people coming in. People who are options traders, people who are intraday cash traders, people who are investors, people from tier one, tier two, tier three cities, people who want to invest in say global equities.
Yeah.
So the market has become very diverse, yeah, very fast growing, and there have been many new entrants also stepping in and getting good momentum.
So you're saying the
And
education about
the icing on the cake, yeah,
the education about investing has improved a lot in the last 5-7 years, roughly.
yeah, the access to knowledge, the education, and the participation, everything. Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Please continue. Would love to hear a lot more about the customer expectations in terms of when they come in on these kind of platforms and what do they expect overall.
Yeah. So broking as such is a bit complicated industry. Like if you put a parallel to e-commerce, you place an order and your money gets deducted and you get your stuff maybe the next day and with quick commerce in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Broking requires you to understand something, then buy something is not tangible in nature.
Yeah.
And maybe there are some settlements. You buy something today and you get it in your account tomorrow, and then maybe you request for a payout of funds. Maybe you don't get immediately, you get it after some time. So there's some bit of learning curve in broking, uh, but maybe not everyone understands that in day one. So customer experience in broking requires lot of understanding, education, that this is how things behave. And then, but when you're not getting it, being proactive enough to make you understand or solve your queries. And when there are issues, then actually to solve them. So it requires education, it requires awareness, and then it requires issue resolution.
Got it.
So yeah, that is how the customer experience in broking is manifesting.
So if I talk about the unique challenges, right, on the customer experience side, specifically to the stockbroking industry, or let's say securities industry, can I say onboarding and then trading queries and then something around regulatory compliances and data security? These are the 4 or 5 most important challenges in the whole CX landscape for securities industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the top of it, the user mix is very diverse. You find people who are like, you cannot be a very pro e-commerce guy, right? You like even if you buy 5 products a month or 5 products a year, the level of sophistication does not vary, right?
Okay.
But in broking, if you can be a very skilled trader or very skilled investor with knowing everything about the market to the regulatory and compliance to person who is just investing now and maybe is not aware so much. So while when the digital platforms are evolving, they need to serve the horizon of customers who travel the entire spread of the customer. So that is also a very unique challenge in broking, that the customer mix is very diverse.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And then what are the matrices that you generally measure, or the matrices that really matter for securities company in general? Is it like NPS and C, like the CSAT of the customer and the FCR or the retention? Like, are these the regular things that we measure at every other industry, or there are some different matrices as well that you really measure for customer experience?
Right. Well, that's a great question. I think customer experience as a paradigm, the metrics are more or less similar,
Hmm.
but I believe customer experience is a mosaic. It's not a single metric that tells you the entire story. There are
Okay.
different aspects to it, and you need to learn to read behind the lines.
Hmm.
So we capture customer sentiment at different touch points
Okay.
when you're using our trading applications, when you're opening your account, to when you're interacting with our servicing teams, to our sales teams, and uh, at some frequency we capture your sentiment through NPS as well.
Hmm.
So there's a fair mix of everything,
Hmm.
and we collate it with lot of backend data in
Hmm.
terms of what kind of trades did the customer did, what kind of transactions the customers perform.
Hmm.
So while we get some early signals using these standard metrics,
Hmm.
we collate them using the data about the customer that we have.
Hmm.
um, Beyond that, we also read some indirect signals. For example, we monitor the contact ratios, what kind of contact ratios on logins and orders we are getting,
Yeah.
what kind of issues are contributing to the contact ratio,
Yeah.
and then we try and close the loop. We take it back to our different teams so that we can solve it.
Hmm. So more or less the similar kind of matrices, but still going a little deeper into each of them, figure out the specific nuanced things, and then solving for those specific issues, right? Understood. And
Right, right.
do you want to put up across the specific top priority challenges that you are solving right now at Kotak Security? I'm sure there are too many things that you'll be working on, but as a head of experience, that maybe the top three things that are absolute important for you to solve right now.
Right. So what I'm trying to do right now is identify the right cohorts of customers. So if you want to deliver experience and scale,
Hmm.
you need to identify the right segments of customers and what their pain points are.
Okay.
So what we are trying to do right now is identifying the right customer cohorts. For example, these are new customers, maybe these are investors, these are traders, these are some vintage customers, these are some very high net worth customers.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to cohort my customers using some good, great metrics,
Hmm.
and then I'm trying to establish the pain points of each cohort,
Okay. Okay.
and then run some interventions on them. For example, in new for new customers, we are trying to solve the problem of their understanding. That means once they're opening account with us, how comfortable they're feeling to make the first investment, how supported they feel in making the first investment as a focus.
Hmm.
Whereas maybe for a options customer, we are trying to solve on how can we provide them the reliability, consistency to trade.
Hmm.
So these are varied of. So again, like I said, the customer mix is very diverse.
Hmm.
So we are also trying to cohort this diverse mix in the right way, and then support them in their investment journeys.
Okay. Okay. So segmenting the customer seems like one of the top priorities, and then figuring out the issues for each cohort and then
Yeah,
solving for them. I would say that this is more like
right,
proactive
right,
experience
absolutely.
work that you're trying to do rather than being reactive. You are figuring out proactively which customer would want what kind of things in the future and solving for them today, right? Seems like a great approach to go for the experience side of things.
Absolutely.
Have you seen some success into this journey of identifying cohorts? What has really changed? Maybe an example would be great in terms of if we can maybe put a real-time examples of something that really become better because of identifying the cohorts of the customer.
So this is actually a bit longish journey, not a very easy solve.
Hmm.
But for example, if I have to give you our highest tier of customers, our very important customers, we found that they had some issues with uh, how we react to their queries and support, right?
Okay.
So we worked with our customer service team, and rather we are working with them to elevate the experience of our highest tier of customers.
Hmm.
And it has become better than before, and we are now launching some specialized initiatives for our premium tier of customers on how can we make them feel more served, more heard and better cared.
Hmm. Got it. And is it more like people dependent change that you're trying to bring in, like training your team a little bit better, maybe building a better process around it?
It's always all three: people, process, and product.
Okay.
So definitely people, definitely process, and definitely product. So we are reimagining on how they should reach out to us,
Okay.
and when they reach out to us, what should we do? So we have made some progress already that we are building upon it.
Understood. Understood. And I heard that you're setting up something like a CX council with the CEO and vertical head. Uh, that sounds really important. So, what is CX council, and how is it really going to help customer experience? Would love to hear that.
Right. So, a big challenge that I've seen with customer experience is getting the leadership mindset.
Okay.
So everyone is busy doing yeah, their own stuff, and they are changing some of their metrics, right?
Hmm.
For example, as a product manager, I have to launch a feature, right? I have to get these many MAU, these
Yeah.
many DAU, right?
Yeah.
And then as sales guy, I have to do this. As a service guy, I have to do this. Everyone has got their own priority, right?
Yeah.
Most of the problems or pain points that I highlight require cutting across different teams. I
Hmm.
require, if I want experience of my premium customer to get better, I required maybe servicing experience to get better. I required the head of customer service to maybe set up better processes, hire better quality agents. I want the head of product to help us uh, do something on the product so that the highest tier of customers find better support or find easy access to the customer service, right?
Hmm.
So in CX Council, what happens is that different leaders come together. They see what we are presenting. We tell them what is concerning our customers. We present them the different customer cohorts,
Okay.
and we try and tell them what is troubling our customer. So not only they are in a table where they empathize with the cause,
Hmm.
they are also able to help each others and help me in solving the issues. For example, if a head of customer service is trying to solve something, can a product head make it better? Or if an head of operations is trying to do something, can the product journey make it a bit better? So this is what we solve in the CX council. All the leadership team sits together. We present them some segments, analysis, pain points, and they help us solve it. They help each other as well to make their lives better.
Interesting. So this is basically like a group of all the major people at the company across different verticals, right? Bringing all of them on same page. So customer experience becomes the top priority for each of them, right? Generally, and if they can contribute faster, they contribute faster. Basically, got it. That's a very nice.
Exactly. And then they also take away some talking points for the, yeah. And beyond that, they also take away some talking points for their own teams. Like when I'm talking, if I'm an ops, I'm talking with my team, I'm telling them, see, these platinum customers, they were having some problems with with that point of journey. Make sure that it is right in your journey at least, right?
Hmm.
So that sensitization starts coming in. Whenever the teams do their own work also, that sensitization starts coming in that, okay, we need to create experience in our mind. We need to keep this segment of customer also in our mind while we are building something. So they take away some talking points, which then pushes down the narrative of customer experience.
That's very interesting. I have seen there's a very unique way of how I have seen somebody solving the problem. Honestly, uh, one of the benefit that I can reimagine for this particular approach is basically now the customer experience is not only your problem. It becomes like an problem for almost everybody in the team. They may contribute less, they may contribute more, but at least it's a talking discussion or it's a proper discussion on the floor. That customer experience is important, and whenever they work on something on their own teams or with their own teams, they would keep that discussion in mind, they would keep those issues in mind. So it becomes like the voice of customer being specifically disseminated to everyone really really well on the team, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. That is the idea. And the CEO of the company, when he created this function, this was his thought process that customer experience is not one person's job. It
Hmm.
is actually every person's job in the company. And maybe CX Council help us live his thought process.
Hmm. Understood. But and it's a very important part that I can think of is that to run this council effectively, you basically need a lot of data and insights about what customers are actually feeling and experiencing. So, how do you capture the customer sentiment at Kotak Securities? Are you relying on technology, maybe surveys, feedback, manual processes to be able to understand these things in detail?
it's a fair mix. So definitely we capture service at different points. If you use our trading application, we'll take service from you at different journeys on your trading application.
Hmm.
You reach our contact center. Once our contact center says that your issue has been resolved, we capture service there. You interact with our sales guys. Once they mark their interaction as done, we capture your feedback there. Beyond that, we also capture NPS from the customers.
Mhm.
And moreover, as CX team, we read lot of chat transcript, listen to lot of calls, read lot of emails,
Hmm.
speak with lot of people on the ground, speak with many customers every month. So it's a charter for me, my team to speak with at least n number of customers every month.
Hmm.
Speak with the customers in the events. So that helps us create some hunches or
Hmm.
some hypotheses that okay, these are the things that might be impacting the customers.
Hmm.
Then we start validating it using survey scores, the questionnaire, survey questionnaire, the comments in the surveys,
Yeah.
some metrics on the application, some metrics on contact center.
Mhm.
So all of this completely. So we start with hypothesis and then use data to either nullify it or prove it, and then we create a storyline,
Okay.
and then we present the storyline to our leadership.
Got it. And
Yeah,
is it done by
that's
somebody?
it's complex than it sounds, but it yeah,
Is
yeah.
it done by somebody manually? Like, is there a team doing this? All of this?
There's a team and we are supported by some AI tools. So we have a very powerful CRM in the backend that luckily I was the one to instrument in Kotak Securities.
Yeah.
So that CRM gives us a very so the survey data flows into the CRM.
Mhm.
The CRM has the ticketing history also,
Mhm.
customers ticketing
Yeah.
history. The CRM has lot of customer attributes, 250 customer
Yeah.
attributes. So we find around lot of customer attributes at a single place. For example, if you tell me that you found this problem in a journey, I can quickly validate what kind of user you are, whether you're an investor, whether you're a trader, what kind of trades you made in the history,
Hmm.
what kind of ledger narrations you had to, um, what kind of ticketing, what kind of issues you face in the linear time. So all of this I will quickly get on the CRM itself.
Hmm.
And then we have some AI tools that we use to um, upload data in the bulk and get analysis on. So yeah, it's a mix of people and tools both.
Got it. Very interesting. And it seems like you implemented a lot of technology at security specifically, right? It could be a CRM, maybe an AI-powered chatbot, and all of that. If I have to ask you, what is the one single most important piece of technology that you think has made the most significant impact? What would that be? Is it like the CRM that you have been able to implement, or is it something else which has really been able to move the needle very significantly?
I think tools are what you make out of them, right? So it's more about what is the problem you're trying to solve with them,
Hmm.
and how consistently you are putting your thought process to make those better.
Okay.
So I don't think there's a single thing that has helped me do it. It has been a combination of things. For example, the CRM helped me formalize a lot of customers' issues, resolve them effectively. The chatbot helped us to deflect routine queries so that agents can focus on the important one.
Hmm.
And now the feedback piece, which brings us the right customer feedback.
Hmm.
So it's a great thing for me to get real-time customer insights every day.
Okay.
But if I didn't have the CRM, then maybe I would not have been able to collate it better.
Hmm.
So it's the pieces working together helping us.
Hmm.
So I'm sorry, don't have a good answer for this question. There's not a single piece, but the entire ecosystem that's creating value.
Hmm.
Isolated pieces, I think, more or less okay,
Hmm.
but the ecosystem together is what creates value.
Makes sense. And beyond this problem that you said about the cohort, identifying the cohort of the customers and then their challenges, what is the other problem that you would say that, it's something that you're very excited about solving or you have started working on, maybe thinking about it, which is something that is on top of your mind also?
Um, when you get so much amount of customer data, customer insights from surveys and everything, then at some point of time you become the custodian of customer voice.
Hmm.
You are getting so much input from the customers that you are responsible to work upon, right?
Hmm.
So, but you don't have execution control on everything,
Hmm.
right? You have there's something on a specific journey, then you have to take it to that product manager
Hmm.
and get his or her mind share on that particular intervention,
Hmm.
and then see that what is being done about it. So while this is the entire journey, it has steps and has complication. That means being getting the customer voice to cascading it to the right persona to actually making sure that it is it is solved.
Hmm.
What I'm trying to also solve is democratize the customer feedback. So I'm trying to make sure that I am not the sole custodian of customer voice.
Hmm.
It is so much democratized that anyone in the company wants to get a sense of what the customers are saying. They have an easy console. If let me articulate it better. So we're trying to create an AI powered system
Hmm.
wherein any product manager or any maybe say any employee can interact with that console and get sense of customer voice, that tell me what customer told about this particular journey.
Hmm.
What did the customer tell about this journey in the previous month?
Hmm.
Has it got better in this month?
Okay.
So I'm trying to build this ecosystem as well, where this all inciting is democratized to the last man or woman standing.
Hmm. That's very interesting. And with the developing technology, which is coming up, large language models, basically ChatGPT has changed a lot in the last 2 3 years now, right? So large language models, which is powering now a lot of customer facing conversation, including the AI phone conversations. I'm sure you would have heard about that or those things. How do you think about those technologies which are now coming up? Are they a part of your plan in terms of the customer experience when you think about customer experience and the challenges you want to solve for?
Yeah, so I think absolutely LLMs are being of great help when we are today analyzing our data. I think one of the biggest use case I have found of with large language models from my team is classifying data very intelligently. So we're getting so much of feedback. How do we classify it? What kind of themes, sub themes these inputs fall into? What is the trend of these themes, some themes month over month, week over week, quarter over quarter. So we're already using some AI
Yeah.
tools. And I think a very important part of AI tools is democratizing knowledge, specifically analytics. So in legacy BFSI company, mostly any kind of data analysis is provided by, say, analytics team or something. But with these tools, every employee is empowered to get sense of data, not just get data, get sense of data. So we're very excited in using these kind of technologies to democratize insights about the customers. We are also using the technologies to automate some of the pieces.
Okay.
While we feel that broking is a very complex industry in itself
Hmm.
and requires some good amount of sophistication for any tool to automate things, but we have started taking some steps to automate at least the routine part of it.
Understood. Understood. And coming back to from a perspective where obviously automation is going to play a very large role, let's say, but I'm sure you are balancing automation with human touch, right? Is human touch really important in securities as an industry?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think how we think of technology or maybe LLMs or something like ChatGPT is just to enhance the efficiency of human beings. We are not thinking of them as replacement of human beings. Um, when there are monetary matters involved, money at stake, people are very comfortable speaking with human beings. So while we are trying to make sure that whatever technology can do to make sure that the errors and issues are minimized so that you feel that your investment is safeguarded. But whenever you need support, we are very uh, readily offering you humans to make sure that you feel that this is something tangible,
Hmm.
right? So we are not at all shying away, allowing our customers to connect with our people or humans at different forums, whether be it support or events or webinars. So we think humans are important and we are working on it.
So you're in that philosophy zone where you say that AI doesn't replace people, it updates them or upgrades them, right? That's how you're operating today.
Exactly. We think AI is enabler and we are using it to enable our talent pool.
Understood. So I'm sure you are doing enough to train your teams to work alongside AI and these new technologies that you are implementing. Are you doing like a very specific, learning sessions with them, or is there a specific kind of training, something that you do with your team, which other people maybe can get, some sort of feedback from?
So I think it's still baby steps. Teams are doing it at their own levels, at their own
Hmm.
groups. But there's something now building upon the org level as well. Recently, some of the initiatives that the company is taking at the org level to acquaint the employees more with how AI can help them.
Hmm.
But I think it still has to shape up in a very methodical or systematic way. In my team, what we use is that we use the AI tools that the company has provided to analyze customer VOC better, classify it better, to draft our CX notes better. For example, when we analyze a problem, we use AI to rebound it with us to make sure that the hypothesis we are coming up is actually backed by the data, is actually watertight. So these kind of interventions that my team is using, yeah. But at the org level, the things are happening more or less either in a smaller cohorts or maybe in a larger cohort setting as well.
Understood. Understood. And moving towards, to the next segment very quickly, which is, something we would love to hear your thoughts on, which is more about the future of customer experience in, securities industry, let's say. So how do you see the customer experience moving towards to in the next 3, 5 years? Is it going to be, let's say, more conversational, more proactive, or still very, very dependent on human? How do you think about that? I would love to hear that thought.
That's an interesting one. I think it will experience is something that I would not say is human dependent. Definitely, human is an important element when you require support or when you require to be heard, right? But I would not say it's human dependent even today because the platforms have become digital, right? Most of the way you interact with companies have become digital. For example, we are speaking on an online platform. You buy something online. You bank online. You trade online. So the driver of customer experience is not digital. It's not human, but definitely human beings are important when you need them. That like that's what I say. So if the experience is driven digitally, so um, one, the digital platform have to be very personalized in nature. I would say they have to make with maybe AI, they are able to understand the customer better and evolve, maybe get more personalized for each customer segment.
Hmm.
Is how I see customer experience to manifest.
Okay. Okay.
So when they become of that nature,
Hmm.
maybe then they become more conversational as well, right? Maybe to understand customers better, I maybe need to know more about them.
Hmm.
So I maybe get more conversational.
Hmm.
But what I see that with AI coming in, the customer experiences have to become more personalized in nature.
Hmm.
And I think tech first companies will leverage AI for that only for the first go. And when it becomes more personal in nature, then there will be an element of conversational for sure because that doesn't take away the that I think that brings the app or the digital platform closer to you when you can interact with it in a conversational way.
Hmm.
So I see the future of customer experience to be more personalized and more conversational.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. And if you have to maybe explain what is your dream state of a customer's experience at Kotak, what would that be? Like, how do you think of, the ideal experience at Kotak Securities for a customer? Maybe 2, 3 years, 5 years down the line, if you get that chance to build that experience.
And that's very interesting. I think an ideal state at Kotak Securities will be when I am able to know my customer better than anyone else in the market. I am able to know what my customer wants, what my customer needs and desires, um, and I'm able to evolve my platform, my processes, and my support as per the customer desire.
Hmm.
So I'm able to know that okay, you are this kind of person as an investor or as a trader. I'm able to evolve my platform as per your need. When you come and join me, I'm able to help you make your first investment, your ease in your cognitive load in making the first choice or the first selection
Hmm.
to if you are a savvy customer or an older customer, I am able to explain you the feature that is going to give you the most delight, or maybe I'm able to make it discoverable for you very easily to whenever you are able when you're frustrated, I'm able to proactively reach out to you and offer you support.
Hmm.
Two, I'm able to tell you what as a company I'm thinking ahead of you. So
Okay.
Maybe my dream state would be to know my customer in the best possible way, maybe better than anyone else in the market.
Okay.
And then in the same line, I'm able to communicate with you in a very, very effective way so that you understand me better.
Hmm.
I understand you better and you understand me better is would be my dream for Kotak Securities in the coming years.
Now that's an interesting take. And maybe the last piece, any piece of advice for people building in financial services landscape or securities landscape who are leading the experience route for their companies, any piece of advice for them, basis your experience?
I'm still a beginner, so I'm here to learn. But yeah, I think uh, one is that you have to be extremely customer centric. You have to have customer as your north star. Means don't put anything above the customer. If you are right by the customer, you're right by your company, right? So customer centricity should be like of is the most single most important thing when you are building a customer experience or the function.
Hmm.
And second would be the journey is difficult because it requires a lot of alignment. So don't give up, just persevere, and maybe you get what you want.
Very interesting. Thanks for this very good piece of advice, Bhupendra. What I would say is that this is discipline meeting empathy, and ladies and gentlemen, that's more like a wrap for today's podcast. What you are learning here is how an army major is really modernizing India's customer experience landscape. Thanks to Bhupendra for you to sharing your incredible journey from the Indian Army to leading the customer experience at Kotak Securities. It's fascinating to see how you are doing all of this. If you enjoyed this conversation, subscribe and share. Until next time, this is Ashish signing off. Thank you.